What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here for a brand new episode review of Life After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 44. No money, more problems. Oh, I was about to say, who's that for? But before we go ahead and get into this review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know how to do that. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Life After Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, I have got to be honest with you guys. To me, it was a snooze fest. So I was just saying in my Ready to Love video that we're going to do the live tomorrow. We ain't doing no live this week, you guys. This episode just did not give me anything, so no live. This episode was boring. Let's start up with the deadbeat and Sarah. So Sarah is taking her daughter Abby to meet her father, right? But Sarah, the murderer feels a way about the murderer feels a way that she's doing this behind Sean's back, right? Because the murderer feels like if the deadbeat did this to her, that she would be pissed. And I do believe that the murderer would be upset at the deadbeat, right? So the murderer does introduce her daughter to her father. Now, the murderer doesn't want her daughter to know right away that that's her father, and I'm okay with that, right? I got where the murderer was coming from, so she's just telling Abby that is her friend. I'm cool with that, right? I don't have an issue. You want to know that this man is going to be who he claimed, you want to make sure that he's on the up and up, he's on the clean and straight and narrow. So I got that for the murderer, right? But here's my issue with the murderer. Why do you tell the deadbeat what's going on? Now, I know later in the episode she said that the deadbeat doesn't like her ex, but that ain't got nothing to do with the deadbeat, right? That man is the father of your child, so the deadbeat needs to go worry about his damn kids and not somebody else's kids. This is why I don't like seeing the deadbeat and the murderer on my television screen. I don't like either one of them. I just don't like the deadbeat and the murderer. So the murderer got home and the deadbeat was at home, right? The deadbeat thought that the murderer would already be there. Mind you, the deadbeat was calling the murderer while she was at the park with her daughter, right? So the murderer did not answer the phone of the deadbeat. The deadbeat, I was so confused when deadbeat daddy was put a goddamn hot tub in the living room. That is so country and ghetto, but it is what it is, right? So the deadbeat was asking her, well, I thought you would be here. Your mom left, so the baby's upstairs asleep, right? The murderer was like, oh, me and Abby were at the park together, and what did she say? We were just having so much fun, and I didn't answer the phone, right? So the murderer went upstairs to go get cleaned up, and then I do not ever want to see the deadbeat without a shirt on. WeTV, stop showing the deadbeat without a shirt on. So the deadbeat is in the hot tub. The deadbeat wants the murderer to join him in the hot tub, right? The murderer is talking about she is not, she's tired, right? So she wants to go to bed. The deadbeat says, okay, do whatever you want to do. There's something going on, but there's something off here, right? I don't care about the deadbeat, and I damn sure don't care about the murderer. Jesus, get them off of my television screen. Please and thank you. Let's pause here and move over to the next couple, you guys. Lindsay and Blaine. I don't give a damn about Lindsay and Blaine, you guys. Jesus the Christ, I don't care about these people. This episode was filled with a lot of people that I just don't care about. So Lindsay, I just don't know what about Lindsay's storyline is real, because her storyline gives very much so fake, right? Because if you this big person, right? Now, granted, I know she probably got restitution for going to jail, right? But you make it like you was just this big drug queen pin. This person owes me money. I need to call in my debts. I gotta call in my debt. Like, girl, what? So she, remember that the lawyer told them that they needed $15,000 before $15,000 before he could even shimmy or shake, right? But you guys remember, Blaine hasn't told Lindsay that he took a deal where he's going to be on house arrest for what, 3 years of his life, right? So I gotta call in all these. I gotta call and collect on my money. So have you talked to so and so? He owes me $800. Have you talked to this person? She owes me $1,800. Have you talked to her? She owed me this. I'm like, girl, I don't believe half the shit that comes out of Lindsay's mouth. I think a lot of Lindsay's storyline is again BULLSHIT, but I don't care, right? So mind you, remember they told us that they bought a house together, right? But when we see them, they're not at that raggedy ass, dilapidated looking ass trailer, right? They're in an actual home. So I was like, where y'all get the money from? Hold on, y'all. My cousin's calling me. Girl, what you want? All right, you guys. So we're back. So yeah, when Lindsay's storyline, I just don't believe her storyline. It just gives fake to me. So Blaine's dad came to visit them, right? And when Blaine's dad showed up, I was like, is this man high on something? Because he was sitting like he was tweaking. And I'm like, sir, are you on drugs or something right now? Because it just really looks that way to me, right? I'm just gonna breeze through Lindsay and Blaine, to be quite honest with you, because I don't care. I just don't care about their storyline, you guys. I just don't care. Lindsay and, like, if I have to go in order of the couples that I don't care about the most on this show, Lindsay and Blaine are top, then Sean and Sarah, then you guys know somebody that we have not saw. We are how many episodes are we into Life After Lockup now? They showed us Brittany and Marcelino in the trailer, but we have yet to see Brittany and Marcelino. I don't know if we bullied WeTV into not showing Brittany and Marcelino, but Brittany and Marcelino have not darkened our screens yet, right? So we haven't saw Brittany. We literally have not. You know what I feel like is gonna happen? One of these couples is probably gonna fall off at some point, and then they're gonna bring in Brittany and Marcelino. I feel like somebody's gonna fall off because like I said, we are 3 or 4 episodes in already, and no Brittany and Marcelino. I'm kind of happy about that, but Lindsay. The only thing I will say nice about Lindsay and her scene, her daughter. I do love her scenes with her daughter. I hope she is doing the right thing for her daughter. You know, she was telling her daughter she was getting her daughter a purity ring. You know, she was telling her daughter how she was 14 years old when she got pregnant with her. So she doesn't want her daughter to repeat the cycle. I'm cool with that, right? Blaine and his daddy went to go get his house arrest bracelet. I don't give a damn. Lindsay told, Miley Grace about the situation with Blaine. Now, Miley Grace and her mom, they like Blaine. You know, I also like Scott and his lip. And Deontay. Or did y'all like Deontay? I don't know. I don't care. Pause here. Move forward. Let's talk about Justine and Michael, you guys. Like I said, this review is not going to be long at all because this episode, to me, it was just very blah and very, very boring. So Justine and Michael. So one of Michael's sons, I don't know where he falls in the line of his kids, but I think his name is Michael Jr. He's in the house with them, right? So Michael met up with them. You guys know Michael. He said he went to go talk to his parole officer to see if he could get a travel permit, right? And lo and behold, he got a travel permit. So him and Justine will be going to Las Vegas. And I was saying to myself, of all the places y'all can go and live, y'all choose Vegas? I'm sorry, but Vegas just doesn't seem smart. Number one, Vegas is expensive. The cost of living out there is high. The gas is high. Everything on the West Coast in Vegas, I feel like Vegas and California, those two for sure are expensive. I went to Vegas in 2021, and those gas prices were astronomically high, right? That was before it reached $3 here in like Texas and stuff, right? It was already $3 out there in Vegas. It was still under $2 here in Texas. I can't imagine what them gas prices are today, and I don't want to know what they are today. I'm pretty sure they're probably like $6 or $7, right? Maybe even $5. I don't know. But y'all choose to go to Vegas? Why? Okay. So Michael called his sister to see if she'll come up there and stay with the kids for about, 7 to 8 days. I was like, a week? So you and Justine are going out to Vegas for a week. Tell me so they can look for somewhere, look around. Y'all can't get on Zillow, you know, y'all can't do internet searches and pick out, say, hey, let's look at some stuff, see what's for rent or for sale out there. Let's go out there, let's spend a few days out there and get back to our kids. Okay. But, and the sister, she agreed to come out there and see the kids, right? So Michael went and called Mocha. So Mocha is like, okay, so you went out to Vegas, or you coming out by yourself? He said, no, I'm coming with Justine. Now, I don't know why Mocha feels that he should travel without his wife, but okay, I mean, I guess. So Michael's sister, she got there to the house. Now, they had never mentioned this before, but she's married. She has a wife. I was like, oh, I would have never. I mean, I kind of figured, but I couldn't. I didn't want to say it out loud that I thought that she might be, a lesbian. But hey, that's cool, right? So she and Justine, they finally talked because she knows that Michael wanted her to come out there, but she wants to make sure that Justine wanted her out there as well. And Justine was like, I want you to be around my kids as we, get to know my kids and whatnot. So Justine was like, she was gonna go upstairs to go take a nap, right? So Michael, his sister, and his sister-in-law, they went out, right? So they went looking for an engagement ring. So she asked Anne, that is his sister, asked, so are you doing this because Justine is pregnant? He was like, how do you know? She said, well, she was talking about she was craving, cereal, and she went and took a nap. So, and her stomach, and I looked at her stomach, so she just put two and two together and figured that Justine was pregnant, right? So, how much money did Michael spend? Did Michael spend $5,000 on that ring? And then he says he and Justine share a checking account, so he hopes that he can replace that money before she knows that the money is gone. I was like, good luck with that one, Michael. Some of these men on a few, oh my God. And then Justine allegedly quit her job. Oh, where's the money coming from? And you guys know I like Michael and Justine. Again, I stated last week, I just don't know what's real with Justine and Michael's storyline. I can't tell you what's real and I can't tell you what's fake. The one thing I can tell you that's real is that they're having a baby. But other than that, I don't know what's real and what's not real with their relationship because it's just kind of weird. The storyline is just a little all over the place. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. Eris and Cameron. Eris, burn that Ronald McDonald looking wig. Burn it. So, Eris and Cameron are gonna go shopping for things for the house, right? Cameron is telling Eris that he can help her out. She wants to know where the money's coming from. I was like, girl, if you gotta question it, Eris. I want to be on Eris's side so badly, right? But the thing is, you married him, and you probably had these questions before you married him, like about certain things that he was doing and how he was moving. And you still just kind of just said, fuck it, and just married him. But okay. So while they're furniture shopping, her friend Priscilla calls, right? So Priscilla's the one that has been, picked up Lena and been doing stuff for Lena, right? So Priscilla wants to meet Cameron. Priscilla is also she previously was a CO, right? So I think Priscilla got her good eye on Cameron. So they meet up at the beach, right? And her friend is asking all the questions that I feel Eris should be asking, right? But I also feel like the questions that Eris should have been asking should have been questions that she should have been asking before she decided to say, I do to Cameron. Again, and I want to preface this by saying, I don't think Cameron is a bad guy, right? I think he is a good guy. I just think Cameron has his ways about him. And I also will say when it comes to Cameron doesn't like for people to ask him questions about anything because he felt the way about Priscilla questioning him, right? He says he only answers to one person, and that is to Eris, right? But then even when Eris asks you questions, you don't want her to ask you the questions, right? So who do you answer to, Cameron? And you're married. And you're married. But that's it, you guys. Let's pause here and move on. Jesus, this episode just was boring as hell. Monique and Derek, right? There was nothing with Monique and Derek in this episode. We have the aftermath of the fight. The fact that Derek kept saying about Monique, where is your class? What did he say? Where's her class and where's her maturity? Where's yours? Where's yours, Derek? Because you are not showing any kind of maturity by sleeping with at least 10 different women. That's an immature ass man, if you want me to be honest with you, right? Now, his sisters, they were pissed off at Derek. I was like, but y'all the ones that got into the fight. So why are we mad at Derek? Now, I don't know. I mean, them sisters, they look like what the cat drug through the hole, right? Jesus, that one sister's wig was just everywhere. Both of their nails were broke. I do want to say something that I did not say in last week's review. And I'm going to say it, and I don't want anybody to get offended by it, right? But I did have an issue with Elizabeth fighting the sisters, right? Monique's sisters. I had an issue with that. I just never did say it in my review or in the live. But I absolutely had an issue with her fighting them. Because let's just call it what it is, right? She is a woman, right? But you're a transgender woman, which means that you previously were born a male. So you have more strength than, I know you take estrogen and whatnot, but you still have more strength than those women. And I just didn't agree with her fighting with those women. Again, no transphobia will be tolerated on my channel. So don't even leave it here, right? Now, I was kind of confused when they ended up leaving Derek. I was like, what was the purpose? Why y'all leave him? He ain't done nothing to y'all. But that's all I got for them. And let's pause here and end this damn episode, you guys. I am over this shit right now. Taylor and Chance, you guys, they went to go see a financial advisor. Taylor, I can give you a little bit of financial advice. Run and don't marry this man. There you go. I just saved you a shitload of money. 15 minutes more on your car insurance, right? I gave you some free advice. Run. So, the math didn't, I'm gonna sit here and explain this to y'all. The math did not math in this particular scene with Chance, right? So they sit down with the financial advisor. So Taylor is a stay-at-home mom, right? And Chance works, right? So Chance says he makes $35 an hour, so that's roughly about $75,000 a year, right? I was like, okay, so you probably bring home about a good, maybe. The math is not mathing. The math just don't add up. Because let's just say you make $72,000. I know taxes are included, but taxes can be a bitch, right? $72,000 divided, 12. So you probably are bringing home, if you're saying you make $75,000, that means your check should be at least a good between $5,000 to $6,000, depending on how you get paid, right? If you get paid bi-weekly, that's about $5,000 to $6,000, right? If you get paid weekly, maybe a little bit less, right? But even still, $75,000, right? That's not a whole lot of money, but that ain't bad off, right? So then he told the lady he got 7 credit cards, right? 2 of them have a balance of, let me get it right, you guys. 2 of them have a balance of $300, right? 2 of them also have a balance of $400. And then he has some more that have $700 balances. Then he says he's not at his limit. Me and Taylor both said it at the same time. That's bullshit. Because if you go back to the episode when he was calling the credit card companies, one of his cards was over its limit. One of them he only had an $11 balance, and the other one, he was past due. Like, so if you're past due on these credit, like, you can't make me believe that you got any money, right? So then he says he has 4 loans with the bank for his car, $28,000, $2,500 for something else, right? And I was like, where is the money going? And then Taylor said that they were 2 months behind on their water bill, 2 months behind on their mortgage. I was like, and the woman, when she calculated everything, she was like, that's about $30,000 in debt. And I was like, $30,000 in debt, and you make 72 a year, that means you should be able to pay your bills on time and probably pay more than what is due. So where is, either you don't have the money that you're professing to have. I don't think Chance is making what he's saying he's making, right? I just do not believe it. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. And then he said he works overtime, so he works about 46 hours. If you work in overtime and you make about $70,000 a year, that means you should be bringing home well into maybe. Okay. So he says he makes $70,000 a year. Again, I feel like that should be about 5,000, maybe between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm guessing, because you got to take into account taxes. But then if you're doing overtime and 40 hours of overtime, sir, you should be bringing home at least a good $8,000, $8,000 to $9,000. Like, I'm not understanding. And then he's talking about he goes gambling, sir. You ain't just gambling. You're not making the money that you're professing. He talks about he goes gambling. He goes to the store in the morning, buys 2 sodas and whatever else he buys, about $15 breakfast. Yes, that stuff adds up every day, right? But it's a lot. It's just, you're not making the money that you cannot be making the money that you're making, right? So later in the episode, Taylor decided that she wanted to go through his phone, and she found some text messages, right? As the age old saying, if you go look for something, you're going to find it. And she found it, and she decided that she wanted to burn his shit up. That was the episode, you guys. If I left anything out, you guys feel free to leave it in the comment section, because I was bored with this episode. Leave them in the comments, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys, and until the next time, stay safe out there, take care of yourself, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.